What's up, guys? Seven Apps Aquatics. We're going to be talking about shrimp and how awesome I think they are in large aquariums. Alright, so in front of me we have my 155 gallon bow front aquarium that is, the bow is in the back. You can see the video of me aquascaping this tank. It's my very first video I've ever posted, and a large majority of my videos have this tank at least featured in it somewhat. So this tank is fairly heavily planted, as you can see, and in this tank there are guppies, snails, and shrimp. Shrimp are kind of the focus of today's video, because as you look, you don't actually really see shrimp like this because it's such a large aquarium. But when you're somebody that really enjoys fish tanks, you start looking at all the small details, and then you start seeing how many shrimp really are in this aquarium. And they really are. They're peppered in here everywhere. I would guess that there's probably close to 400 to 500 in here at least, and that's pretty good considering that there's all these guppies in here that are eating them, and I actually had pulled a whole bunch of them out, and I'm still guessing there's like 300 to 400 in here. And before I had guppies in here, I would have guessed that there was probably 600 to 700, but the guppies do eat the baby shrimp sometimes, sorry about that, and so the numbers have gone down, and that's not too surprising. It's just how nature is. But yeah, in my opinion, I do believe that shrimp are great for nano aquariums, but I think they're even better to keep in your larger aquariums that they can survive in and breed in. So tanks like this one, where the biggest predator that they have are just guppies, which only can eat the littlest babies, and if you have a well planted tank like this, a good amount of them will still survive without any issues. So that's just kind of the main topic. I do love, like I said, shrimp in a small nano aquarium, and I do expect to keep shrimp in a small nano aquarium. In fact, behind I have these two 20-gallon longs, which aren't necessarily really nano, but much smaller than my 155, and these are full of my higher quality shrimp, which I will be selling eventually. I'm not exactly going to try to say a date anymore, because every time I've done that, I've been way off. But in this tank, if I can get it to focus, you can see right in the middle of the screen how small shrimp babies really are. I mean, that thing is tiny. You don't really notice that so much in the big tank, because typically the ones that are in there have been chased by a guppy by now and have learned not to come into open space like the ones in these tanks. Okay, these are my very nice higher quality ones. I see a light orange one in there that's gonna have to come out. The one that just went in front of the camera, it's buried. That's good. But back to the 155. So we've got the 155 again, and that's what I really like about aquariums that I keep for just purely enjoyment, like this tank, where it's set up how I want to look at it. Is I want it filled with life, and I want it to be able to look in every different spot, and it's a little different, and it just be full of lots of small creatures such as the shrimp and the guppies and the snails, where it's almost like its own little ecosystem if I wasn't feeding it, which I truly believe with the lights and the air in this aquarium, if I quit feeding it, I believe that it would survive. It would have some dieback if I quit feeding it, but I do believe that this aquarium would survive if I quit feeding it. It just wouldn't be as full of life. But yeah, this is one of my favorite views, just right here in the front, where there's all different sizes, shapes, colors of shrimp, because I do not cull this tank very often. Sometimes if I see one that's completely clear or one that isn't orange or red, I will pull it, but if I get lighter colored ones and ones that aren't perfect, I'd just keep them in here. And then the ones that I cull out of the 20-gallon aquariums typically come into here. It's a pretty good one right there, considering it's in this aquarium. I believe that's a male even. It's like candied red. I guess maybe it's a little bit, it's almost black on the back, so that's why I probably culled it out of the other tank. But just an update. The fish room, I'm to the point where I can build it, but I'm not going to start that just yet. More details on that in the future. For now, I'm just going to keep the fish room in this bedroom, and I might start trying to sell some shrimp just from what I've got, and as soon as I'm ready I can pounce on building the fish room in the garage, and it should go up fairly quickly. So if that's what you were waiting for, that's what that is. Definitely like, comment, let me know your opinions on shrimp in large aquariums or small aquariums. Like I said, I think that shrimp are awesome in both, but I think that they're even more awesome in large aquariums like this one, where they're just everywhere and in a big Planet aquarium. And definitely subscribe to the channel.